Rhodes takes 5 as Essex collapse at Chelmsford. Second placed Essex host Warwickshire at Chelmsford in a game that the Bears were supposed to be hosting before a combination of the World Cup and the flood at New Road meant that the fixture was swapped around. Warwickshire go into the game with an inexperienced batting lineup as Lions call-ups mean that they'll be without both Siddle and Hayne. Warwickshire will have been pleased to have welcomed back the express pace of Ollie Stone, though they'd have been less pleased when Alistair Cook greeted him by sending him to the fence twice in his second over. Essex settled into a steady start after that as the Warwickshire bowlers tightened up their lines and only 22 runs came off their first 13 overs. Cook picked up another boundary off Brooks, but just 2 balls later the pressure told on Brown as he holed out to Rob Yates. Wesley came and went as he picked out mid-wicket with a pull shot off Brooks. Dan Lawrence settled quickly as he sent Stone and Patel to the rope in consecutive overs, before clattering the Warwickshire captain for a maximum in his next over, and that meant that Essex recovered somewhat to reach lunch on 73 for 2, with both Cook and Lawrence well placed on 34 and 25 respectively. The batsmen went on the attack as the afternoon session began, with Cook helping himself to 4s off Brooks and Patel in consecutive overs, before a 4 apiece for the batsman off Brooks' next over, with Cooks taking him to his 50. The boundaries were coming thick and fast for the pair, with Cook bringing up the 100 with another 4 off Patel. The run rate slowed slightly after that, but Lawrence was still able to move into his own half-century with another boundary, this time off Stone. And Cook carried on in typically untroubled fashion, sending Stone to the fence to bring up the 100 partnership for the pair. But Rhodes struck with his medium pace to have Cook caught by Patel in the gully for 84. Before it became a double blow for Rhodes as he removed the other set batsman soon after, having Lawrence caught behind by Ambrose. That left Essex 169 for 4 at the interval, and Warwickshire feeling quite a bit better about the position of the game than they would have felt 20 minutes earlier. Rhodes was at it again immediately after the tea interval, removing Rishi Patel for his 3rd wicket, before he made it 4 as he claimed career best figures, with Wheater falling in the same over as Essex collapsed either side of tea. And Essex was soon 7 down when Hannam Dolby accounted for Harmer with an excellent Yorker. Ryan Tenduscarter tried to steady the ship in partnership with Siddle, but he became Stone's first victim of the day when he edged him behind. Siddle was able to take his side to a batting point with some boundaries off Stone, but the paceman got his own back with a Yorker to leave Essex 9 down. Beard and Quinn dug in to frustrate the Warwickshire attack and looked to be taking their side to the close, but fittingly Will Rhodes had the final say on the day as he wrapped up the innings and completed his own maiden 5-wicket haul when he removed Beard. That meant Essex were all out for 245 at stumps after their collapse either side of tea, and Warwickshire's inexperienced batting lineup will begin their reply on day 2. Siddle strikes to put Essex in command at Chelmsford. A maiden 5-fer for Will Rhodes' medium pace meant that Essex collapsed either side of tea on day 1 after the hosts had looked well placed as Cook and Lawrence put on 116 for the 3rd wicket before Rhodes' burst helped bowl them out for 245 and bring about the close. Essex had their revenge on Rhodes quickly in the morning, however, as Siddle trapped him LBW from around the wicket. And things went from bad to worse for Warwickshire when Banks was also on his way in the next over, bowled round his legs by Matt Quinn. Rob Yates broke the shackles somewhat with a boundary off Quinn, but runs were hard to come by for Warwickshire's inexperienced batting order. And Hose edged a wild slash to Cook at first slip off Beard to fall for a torturous 25-ball duck. That brought debutant Dan Mousley to the wicket, but he wasn't able to last long before he fell to Harmer trying to cut a ball that wasn't wide enough to do so. Yates was still there though, and he was able to take his side past 50 in partnership with the veteran Tim Ambrose. and Warwickshire recovered somewhat to reach lunch without further loss at 57 for 4, with Yates looking the key on 31 not out. Rob Yates had looked excellent as he battled before lunch, but he rather gave it away early in the afternoon when he failed to connect with a sweep and fell LBW to Harmer. That brought another debutant to the crease in Michael Burgess, and he started well with a couple of boundaries. And Ambrose got in on the act when he sent Harmer to the fence 3 times in quick succession, before Burgess helped himself to 2 more of his own off Harmer to see Warwickshire past 100. And the pair of wicket-keepers kept going for their shots as the boundaries came thick and fast, before Burgess picked up 3 fours from a Quinn over to move the partnership past 50. But Siddle was brought back into the attack, and he accounted for both batsmen in the space of 4 balls, first getting one to nip away and take Ambrose's edge before having Burgess taken by the same fielder, Wesley, but this time in the covers. Henry Brooks was the next batsman to fall to Siddle as the Essex attack tightened their grip on the game, before Siddle struck again in his following over when he had Stone caught behind to complete his 5-wicket haul. Warwickshire skipper Jeetan Patel counter-attacked to take his side past 150 with some crunching boundaries, but he was bowled by Beard to wrap up the Warwickshire innings and bring the session to a close, giving the hosts a lead on first innings of 83. Cook and Brown made another solid start to their innings as they found the boundaries off the bad balls. They moved to 35 off the first 10 overs of the innings, and the fours started to come thick and fast as they powered past 50 while looking extremely comfortable. The run rate slowed down slightly as the overs ticked down to the close, and that pressure may have started to tell on Brown as he was pinned LBW by Rhodes for 38. Cook saw his side to the close in the company of night watchman Quinn, with Essex 73 for 1 and in an excellent position in the game with a lead of 157, 9 wickets in hand, and Cook still at the crease on 34 not out. Warwickshire battle after Essex declaration at Chelmsford. Peter Siddle struck with a 5-wicket haul to bowl out Warwickshire for 161 and help Essex seize control of the match on day 2 at Chelmsford as they closed on 73 for 1 in their second innings with a healthy lead of 157, 9 wickets in hand, and Alistair Cook at the crease with 34 to his name. Essex made a sedate start to day 2, with night watchman Quinn not really looking to score, having brought up just 1 from 32 balls. A fluent looking Cook moved to his 50 soon after, and he followed up with back-to-back 4s from consecutive Patel deliveries in the following over. A couple more boundaries for the Knight of the Realm took him to 83, following his 84 in the first innings. But Essex's first innings nemesis struck again when Cook played around a Rhodes delivery and was trapped to LBW. And new man Tom Wesley lasted just 5 balls before he too fell to Rhodes, with Ambrose taking an excellent catch, before Quinn became Jeetan Patel's 50th scalp of the season from the very next ball, bringing to an end a strange innings from the night watchman of just 9 from 69 balls. Dan Lawrence and Rishi Patel settled things down to move the score past 150, and a couple more boundaries saw Essex to lunch in an excellent position, despite the loss of 3 wickets in 6 balls, 253 ahead with 6 wickets still in hand. But Brooks struck with the very first ball after lunch to have Patel caught it slip, and then claimed another wicket with the final ball of the over as Tendaskata was bowled. Lawrence dug in partnership with Wheater, and once they had taken Essex beyond the 200 mark, they started to accelerate. But Wheater fell when he edged Patel to Rhodes at slip. Lawrence and Harmer took the lead beyond 300, but the run rate slowed for a period, before Lawrence moved past 50 with 4s off 3 successive Henry Brooks deliveries. Essex looked to be upping the ante towards a declaration before tea as both batsmen helped themselves to more boundaries. Lawrence sent Brooks to the rope twice from an over before Harmer hammered Rhodes for a maximum as tea approached. And Essex reached the interval on 299 for 7 a lead of 383 and a declaration looking imminent. They did decide, however, to continue batting after tea, but Lawrence was back in the shed when he edged the second ball of the session behind off Rhodes. And without adding to the score since tea, Harmer was gone as well, caught by Liam Banks off Patel. Essex belatedly passed 300 as Siddle smashed a few before they were called in to end the innings on 316 and set Warwickshire a very unlikely 401 to win. Rhodes and Banks made an excellent start to their chase as regular boundaries advanced the score quickly. They moved at 4 and over as the Essex bowlers attacked, with Banks sending Harmer to the fence from consecutive deliveries. And a 50 came up as the Warwickshire pair continued to play some nice strokes. But Rhodes had to go when he played a round one from Beard and was pinned LBW. And Banks was able to dig in until the close in partnership with Rob Yates on 67 for 1. Excellent discipline showed by Warwickshire in the final session, but with key batsmen missing, Essex will feel confident about claiming the 9 wickets they need on the final day to force victory. Harmer strikes again as Essex run through Warwickshire to move top. Alistair Cook fell in the 80s for the second time in the match as Essex set Warwickshire an unlikely chase of 401 to win on the final day at Chelmsford, despite Will Rhodes' career best 9-wicket haul. Warwickshire's inexperienced batting lineup was able to make a solid start, however, as they reached 67 for 1 by the close, needing a further 334 runs to win. And Warwickshire continued that fine start as the final day got underway, with Banks picking up 3 boundaries of Siddle in quick succession as he moved to his 50. But the Australian got his own back in his next over, producing a jaffer to take Banks' edge with Wesley holding on at third slip. Yates and Hose dug in response. But Harmer turned the match back towards Essex in the space of 2 balls, accounting for Yates when he edged a forward defence to Cook at slip, and then removing new man Mousley with the very next ball in the same fashion. Ambrose resolutely kept out the hat-trick ball and took Warwickshire beyond 100 with Hose, before Harmer was at it again to have Ambrose edging to Lawrence and leave Warwickshire struggling 5 down. Hose was on his way in Harmer's next over when he could only find Rishi Patel with a sweep. With Warwickshire's hopes of surviving the day evaporating, Burgess went on the attack, thumping Harmer for 6. Before Brooks got in on the act when he flayed Quinn for a 4 and a 6 from successive balls. And Burgess followed up by smashing Harmer for a maximum twice more. But Brooks had to go when he feathered Quinn behind to end the stand. And lunch arrived with Warwickshire 171 for 7 and Essex needing just 3 more wickets to complete their 6th home victory in a row and move to the top of the table. Burgess continued to attack after the interval, picking up 2 more boundaries off consecutive Harmer deliveries. But Patel didn't last long before he edged Siddle to Harmer at second slip. That didn't stop Burgess giving Harmer some more stick with another maximum and a 4 from the following ball, taking him to a defiant half-century. Harmer completed yet another 5-wicket haul soon after though, when Ollie Stone feathered one behind to leave Essex just 1 wicket from victory. Burgess refused to go quietly, but Harmer had him stumped for 64 to complete the win by 183 runs and move Essex to the top of the championship as their superb run at Chelmsford continues. They'll move forward with a vital 20 points, while Warwickshire make do with 3.